In this video, we're going to be talking about a big challenge that a lot of advisors face, and that is how to attract and retain clients. You know, there's a common approach to building a business for a lot of advisors out there, and that's that they'll attract people either through networking or maybe they're doing some online advertising or something, and when they get those leads in, they might, be able to schedule an appointment, they might get on a phone call or something, but when those don't turn into clients, they just sort of drop them and they forget about them and go out and look for new ones. And there's a lot of missed opportunity in the way that most advisors are going through this process these days. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how we approach the solution to this very common approach that advisors deal with.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I see in the industry in general is that a lot of advisors view marketing, if you will, as attract and referrals, and that's it. And I think what I really want to push is there's a whole bunch of stuff in between, which is really where money is made. And so what we're going to talk here briefly about is just kind of four things. How it is that we not just attract people, but how do we capture them into a meaningful database where we can store that information, we can learn more about them, and we can take action based upon what it is that we know. How it is from there that we can build in long-term nurture as well as short-term nurture, where we can really drive meaningful communication that builds the bedrock of a foundation for relationship that really is where sales come from. And from there, we then learn how to separate our happiest clients from our not so happy clients. And we really understand how it is that we can go to this well of referral from the people who love us the most. That's really, as we look at this core formula concept, that's what this is fundamentally all about. How do we automate and how do we drive action amongst these things that are typically not done very well or skipped over altogether?
So Ken, you mentioned the core formula, and core formula, if you don't know, is a system that we've put together and customized specifically for advisors to be more effective at attracting and retaining clients. Do you want to talk a little bit about where it came from and how we've adapted the original concept specifically for advisors?
Yeah, so about, I want to say 5 years ago now, a friend of mine who was the director of marketing over at Bell Helicopters, he and I sat down and asked the question, what is it that every business needs? And that's where Core Formula was built off of, is we said, look, every business needs to be able to capture leads. No one disagrees with this. Everyone needs to be able to nurture those leads into sales. No one disagrees with this. Everyone needs to have that database cleaned on a regular basis so that they can separate good leads from bad leads. And finally, everyone needs to know who are their happiest customers. Now, originally, the entire drive around this was small business. As we have, over the years, become more and more focused on advisors, we've rebuilt this with a very advisor focus in terms of how is it that we can focus on advisor networking? How is it that we can focus on client retention and smooth out things like the awkwardness of asking for referrals? How is it that we can drive more clientele by really reaching out to those people who are on the fence, who are really struggling and aren't sure if an advisor is a good fit for them. And so really building this relationship platform to drive meaningful interaction has been the goal of the last several years with the work that we've done.
I think when I first became aware of the core formula approach that you've taken, I realized there's a lot of businesses out there who are trying to do a lot of these things, maybe doing them manually, maybe doing them inconsistently, and the approach to systematizing all of this, I think, is brilliant, especially for advisors who are very much in need of continuously filling their pipeline with new prospects and building out their relationships with their current prospects and current clients as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole thing here is we have systems for investing, right? Every advisor we've ever worked with has an investing system that they follow, right? They have a client management system that they're following, right? Where they're meeting with people on a regular basis, whether that's quarterly, whether that's annually. They know and have a system they're following. They have an internal business system for finance that they follow. And so when it comes to operations and finance, there's no question that there is a meaningful system that occurs in these businesses. But when it comes to marketing, what we've seen is there is no system. The system is we're taking a pile of money and throwing it at a wall or handing it to some guy who says he can do something, hoping that something happens, as opposed to saying, let's build a system akin to how we do our finance or akin to how we do our client management that really is going to give us predictable results with tried and true tested models that we can say, yeah, this definitely works, and we know it works, and here's the data behind it.
Excellent. Well, that is the Core Formula program, and we're really excited to be able to share this with more and more advisors going forward. In our next video, we're going to be talking about the capture phase of the Core Formula program.